Hi everyone. So in this video, we're going to discuss about the JIPMAT 2024 Quant section. So there were 33 questions in this section, 33 in Quant, 33 in LR and 34 in verbal reasoning. So we'll discuss all the 33 questions one by one. We'll cover all the questions and we'll provide you a detailed solutions for all the questions. This contains all the questions from the 2024 JIPMAT paper, previous year paper. So before starting, I just want you to know about the JIPMAT mock test. JIPMAT mock test. JIPMAT mock test has been provided by Krakow at free of cost. So we will be soon releasing all the JIPMAT mock tests, and all of them are created on the basis of previous year JIPMAT papers, last 3 to 4 years JIPMAT papers, 5 years JIPMAT papers we have taken, and we are providing basically mocks as per that level only. So all the mocks are created on the previous year JIPMAT papers difficulty. So do give these mocks. Mocks are something which is very essential during your preparation. It helps you analyze your mistakes and what are your weaker sections, and you can then work on your mistakes and the weaker sections, and thus you can ace the exam well. So do give these mock tests. This is going to be very beneficial for you. Apart from JIPMAT, we are providing IPMAT mock tests. We are providing IIM Rohtak BBA program mock tests, Christ University, IMK BMS, all the institutes which conduct their examination for the BBA program, or let's say for their BMS program. We are providing mock tests and we are providing free content for all of these examinations. So do check out. You can search either IPMAT Krakow. You can search IPMAT Krakow and all the content is available there, or you can search JIPMAT Krakow and all the content related to JIPMAT is present there. We will be soon releasing the JIPMAT mock test. So do check out these mocks. So with that, let's start the quant section. I'll provide a detailed solution for each of the question here. So let's look at the first question now. The first question says, what will be the least number which when divided by 12, 21 and 35 leaves 6 as a remainder? So the least number which when divided by 12, 21 and 35. So what is the least number which is divisible by 12, 21 and 35? It is basically the LCM of 12, 21 and 35. So least number which is completely divisible by 12, 21 and 35 is LCM of 12, 21 and 35, and it leaves us 6 as a remainder. 6 as a remainder. So thus the least number, let's say if I say this as x will be equal to LCM of 12, 21, 35 plus 6. Now 12 can be written as 2 square into 3, 21 can be written as 3 into 7, and 35 can be written as 5 into 7. Thus, if I have to find out LCM will be, I have to consider the highest power of 2. Highest power of 2 is 2 square. Highest power of 3 is 3. Highest power of 5 is 5. So 2 square into 3 into 5, and highest power of 7 is only 7. So 1. So 2 square into 3 into 5 into 7, which is equal to 4 to the 12, 5 to 60 into 7, 420. So LCM of all these three numbers is 420, and thus I can write x will be equal to LCM of this, which is 420 plus 6, and x is equal to 426. Thus this is the number which when divided by 12, 21 and 35 will leave a remainder of 6 in each case, and therefore option A, 426 is the correct answer. The next question is saying a candidate scoring X% marks in an examination fails by A marks, while another candidate who scores Y% marks gets B marks more than the minimum required passing marks. So what is the maximum marks for the examination? So I'll assume passing marks is P, maximum marks for the exam is M. Maximum marks a student can score or a candidate can score is M. So if he scores X% marks, which is X% of maximum marks, so X% of M, if he is scoring, what is happening? Basically, he is failing by A marks. So that means that he is scoring A marks less than the passing marks. So his score is A marks less than passing marks, which is P. Thus I can write X by 100 into M is basically P minus A. A marks less than the passing marks. So X by 100 into M is equal to P minus A. This is my first equation. Now second is, another candidate who scores Y% marks gets B marks more than the minimum required pass marks. So who scores Y% marks? So Y% of M. This means he is scoring B marks more than the passing marks. So more than passing marks. He is scoring B marks more than the passing marks. So I can write Y upon 100 into M is equals to P plus B. Now if I perform the operation 2 minus 1, equation 2 minus equation 1, I'll get M into y minus x upon 100 is equals to p and p will get cancelled because both are positive and we are subtracting. So p and p gets cancelled and this becomes b plus a. Thus I can write m will be equal to 100 I can take here and y minus x I can take to the denominator. So this becomes 100 into b plus a divided by y minus x. So this is the maximum marks a student can score, which is 100 into b plus a upon y minus x, and therefore I can say option C, which is 100 into a plus b divided by y minus x, is the correct answer. The next question is saying an equilateral triangle ABC is inscribed in a circle of radius 20 root 3 centimeters. So there is a circle and there is an equilateral triangle which is inscribed inside it. This is the equilateral triangle, which is ABC. This is an equilateral triangle. The center of the triangle ABC is at a distance of D from the vertex A. So this is the center. This is the center of the circle. Now this is my triangle ABC and O is the center. Now if O is the center of the circle, O is center of circle, O is also the centroid of the triangle. Because in ABC, centroid and the circle, if ABC is inscribed in a circle, so the center of the circle and the center of the circle will coincide. I'm given the radius of the circle. Radius of this circle is 20 root 3 centimeter. Radius of the circle is 20 root 3 centimeter. I have to find out D, which is what? This is the distance between the centroid, on the vertex. So D is basically the distance between the centroid and the vertex. Now if I carefully look, if I say O is the center of the circle, O is the center of the circle and O is also the center of the triangle, so I can clearly say this particular distance, which is AO is basically the radius of the circle. AO is the radius of the circle. Now since first of all it was an equilateral triangle, the center of the circle and the center of the triangle will coincide. Now I have to find out the distance between the centroid and the vertex A. Now centroid, the distance between the centroid and vertex A can also be written as the radius of the circle. The distance between centroid and vertex A can be written as radius of the circle, and thus I can write D can be, what is the radius of the circle? 20 root 3 centimeter. D is equal to, I can write 20 root 3 centimeter. D is equal to 20 root 3 centimeter, and therefore option C will be the correct answer. An amount doubles itself at compound interest in 5 years. So the formula for this is AN is equal to, that is amount after n years, is P into 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power n. P into 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power n. So I'm given the amount double itself. So if I say initially it was P, so P into 1 plus R by 100, it becomes 2P in 5 years. So 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power of 5. This becomes 2P. So this P and P get cancelled, and thus I can write 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power of 5 is equals to 2. It is asking how many years will it take to make the amount 16 times of itself. So if it is saying that if I want the amount to be 16P, I have invested P and the rate of interest is same. So P into 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power n. So let's say it takes n years to make it 16 times the original amount, 16 times itself. So it takes n years. So again this and this get cancelled. So I can write 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power n can be written as 16 can be written as 2 to the power 4. Thus I can further, instead of 2, I can write this 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power 5. So 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power n is equals to 1 plus R by 100. Instead of 2, I can write this 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power 5 and to this whole power 4. Because in this space of 2, I am writing this thing, this power 4 remains same. So thus I can write 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power n is equal to 1 plus R by 100 to the whole power 20, and from here I can say n is equal to 20. Thus if I want the amount to become 16 times of itself at R% rate of interest, so it should take 20 years, and therefore I can say option D, 20 is the correct answer. The next question is, say company offers 4 types of successive discounts of A to D on the mark price of an article. Arrange these successive discounts A to D in ascending order based on the final price of the article. So we have to arrange them based on the final price of the article after the discount. So if there is successive discounts, then overall discount can be found by the formula D1, that is first discount, plus D2 minus D1 D2 by 100. So D1 plus D2 minus D1 D2 by 100. What I'll assume? I'll assume the cost price as rupees 100 for each article. Mark price as rupees 100 for each article, and I know I have to compare the final price, which is the selling price, and selling price is equal to mark price into 1 minus overall discount percentage divided by 100. So this is the formula for final selling price. So let's check one by one for H, A, B, C, D. So A is 25% and 15%. So overall discount will be 25 plus 15 minus 25 into 15 divided by 100, which is equal to 3.7540. So this is 36.25%. Therefore, my final selling price will be, if my initial mark price is 100 and I put this value in this formula, so my final selling price will be 63.75 rupees. 63.75 rupees. Now for B, overall discount will be 30 and 10. So 30 plus 10 minus 30 into 10 divided by 100, which is equal to 37%, and thus my final selling price will be rupees 63. Then I have C, which is 35% and 5%. So overall discount will be 35 plus 5 minus 35 into 5 by 100. So this is equal to 38.25%, and therefore selling price is equal to rupees 61.75. Selling price is equal to rupees 61.75. Now we have option D, which is 15 and 20. So D is equal to 15 and 20. So overall discount will be 15 plus 20 minus 15 into 20 by 100, which is nearly equal to 32%. And thus the final selling price will be rupees 68. That will be rupees 68. Now we have to arrange them in ascending order based on the final price of the final selling price. So if I have to arrange them on final selling price, my minimum value will be C, then we'll have B, then A, then D. So this should be the order, which is first C, then B, then A, then D. So C, B, A, D should be the order, and therefore I can say option B, which is C, B, A, D is the correct answer. The next question is saying a man sold 3/5 of his articles at a gain of 25%. So let's say he had 5x articles. He had 5x articles. So out of this 3 by 5, he sold at 20% gain. So 20% profit. So this is 3x articles. So 3 by 5 of 5x articles is 3x articles. So he sold it at 20% profit. And the remaining at the cost price. So what I will assume, the cost price is, let's say, CP. The cost price is CP. So the cost price is CP. So thus I can write 3x on this and the remaining 2x on CP only. 3x at a 20% profit and 2x on CP. Now if there was a 20% profit, so selling price will be CP into 1 plus 20% by 100. 1 plus 20%, which is SP, is equal to 1.2 CP. So selling price for this will be 1.2 CP, and for this will be CP only. So this is 3x articles 1.2 CP, and this is 2x articles at price CP. So overall CP will be 5x into CP. Overall SP will be 3x into 1.2 CP plus 2x into CP. This will be roughly equal to 5.6x into CP. If I have to we have to find out the overall gain earned in the transaction. So overall gain will be, profit percentage will be overall SP minus CP divided by CP into 100. So I can take x into CP common, x and CP common, which will be 5.6 minus 5 upon 5 into x into CP into 100. So x and CP get cancelled. This will be 0.6 and this will go 20 times. So 0.6 into 20, this will be equal to 12%. 0.6 into 20 will be 12%, and therefore overall profit gained is option C, which is 12%. Given below are two statements. Given that A is to B is 5 is to 3 and B is to C is 2 is to 5, then C minus A will be equal to, and given statement 1, statement 2, and in the light of the above statements, choose the correct statement from the given below. So A is to B is equal to 5 is to 3 and B is to C is equals to 2 is to 5. Now I have B common in both the ratios. So what I'll do, I'll assume I'll make the ratio of B same for both. So if this is 5 is to 3, I can write this as 10 is to 6 as well. And if it is 2 is to 5, I can just multiply both the terms by 3 and I can write this as 6 is to 15. Now if you see the terms, the ratio of B is same for both. Ratio of B is same for both. So I can compare the ratios and thus I can write Combining this, I can write A is to B is to C can be written as 10 is to 6 is to 15. I can combine both the ratios. This 6 and this 6 I can combine. So it becomes 10 is to 6 is to 15. Now, if this is the case, I can write A is equals to 10k, B is equal to 6k, and C is equals to 15k. Thus, my C minus A will be equal to 15k minus 10k, which is 5k. This is my C minus A. Now, let's look at our statement 1. Statement 1 is saying 10 into A plus C. Statement 1 is saying 10 into A plus C. So, A is 10k, C is 15k. So, this is equal to 10 into 10k plus 15k. This is equal to 250k. Now, see, I want the value 5k and I am getting the value 250k. So, I can clearly say statement 1 cannot give me the correct answer. Now, statement 2 is 10a plus 25b. So, statement 2 is 10a plus 25b. So, thus I can write 10 into a value is 10k. So, 10 into 10k plus 25 into what is b? B value is 6k. So, 10 into 10 is 100k plus 150k. This is also 250k. But I need the value 5k. The difference between that is the value of C minus A is 5k and not 250k. Therefore, I can say statement 2 is also not going to give me the answer, and thus both statement 1 and statement 2 are false statements. The next question is saying the HCF and LCM of two numbers x and y are respectively 6 and 210. So, first of all, I know product of any two numbers is basically equal to HCF multiplied by the LCM of the two numbers. Product of two numbers is equal to HCF multiplied by LCM. So what is the product of two numbers? Product of the two numbers are x and y. So thus I can write x multiplied by y is equal to what is the HCF? HCF is 6 and LCM is 210. Thus I can write xy is equals to 1260. This is my xy value. If x plus y is equal to 72, then 1 upon x plus 1 upon y is equal to. So, I am also given that x plus y is equal to 72. So, I will make use of both of these, which is x plus y is equal to 72 and xy is equal to 1260 to calculate 1 upon x plus 1 upon y. Now, 1 upon x plus 1 upon y can be written as I can take xy LCM. So, xy, y plus x. I know the value of x plus y is 72 and I know the value of xy, so xy is 1260. So 72 divided by 1260, I can divide this equation by 36. So 36 if I divide, this becomes 2 and this becomes 36 to 108, 18k 180. So 2 by 35. Thus my 1 upon x plus 1 upon y value will be equal to 2 by 35 and therefore I can say option D, 2 by 35 is the correct answer. The next question is saying the average of 5 consecutive natural numbers is A. So 5 consecutive natural numbers can be A minus 2, A minus 1, A plus 1 and A plus 2. So these are the only 5 consecutive natural numbers such that the average of them is A. You can check A minus 2 plus A minus 1 plus A plus plus 1 plus A plus 2 divided by 5. The average comes out to be A. If the next two numbers are also included, how will the average vary? So in these 5 numbers, let's say we are considering A plus 3, that is next two numbers is A plus 3 and A plus 4. If we are considering A plus 3 and A plus 4, we have to check out how the average is going to change. So if I add A plus 3 and A plus 4, what will happen? The sum of this 5 was A minus 2 plus A minus 1 plus A plus 1 plus A plus 2. This was 5A. So thus the new average after addition of these two numbers is basically 5a plus a plus 3 plus a plus 4, and now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 terms. So there are total 7 terms. So 5a plus 3 plus a plus 4 divided by 7. This will be equal to 7a plus 7 and divide by 7. This should be equal to a plus 1. So this is my new average and new average comes out to be a plus 1. The original average was a and new average comes out to be a plus 1. Therefore, I can say the new average is basically increased by 1. The new average is increased by 1 and thus I can write option A itself increased by 1 is the correct answer. Match list 1 with list 2. So we are given list 1 expression and we have to find out list 2, which is the absolute value. So check one by one. So A is equals to under root 15 into 163 divided by 5. So 15 into 163 divided by 5 minus 89. So this will be equal to, this will go 3 times, and 3 into 163 is 489. So 489 minus 89, this is equal to under root 400, which is thus simplified as 20. So A will be matched to 2. A is matched to 2. Then I'll see B. B is under root of 15 square plus 11 to 3 square. So 15 square, this can be written as 225 plus 11 into 3 square. So 11 into 9, this can be written as 99. So under root 225 plus 99 is under root 324, and root of 324 is 18. Remember, we have to just worry about the absolute value, so it cannot be minus 18, so it is 18. So A is 2, B is 4. Now I have C which is 8 square into 7 into 5 squared minus 175. So under root of, what is 8 square? 8 square is 64. So 8 square into 5 square. So 8 into 5 is 16. 8 into 5 is 40, and 40 square is 1600. So 1600 into 7 minus 175. This will be equal to, 1600 is 11200 minus 175. This is equal to 11025, and this is further equal to under root of 11025 is 105. So thus I can match C with 1. So if C is with 1, 2, 4, 1, we are left with D. D should be 3. We will just confirm this as well. So D is equals to under root of 121 will be 11, and this will become under root of 91 plus under root of 70 plus 11. Now 70 plus 11 is 81, and under root of 81 is 9. So under root of 91 plus 9. So this is under root of 100, and which is equal to 10. So I can see D is matched to 3. So A2, B4, C1 and D3 is a correct order, and therefore option A2, B4, C1 and D3, option C is the correct answer. The next question is saying, if the 7-digit number 94829B6 is divisible by 72, then what is the value of 2A plus 3B for A is not equal to B? So I am given a number 94A29B6, and it is divisible by 72. So if this is divisible by 72, this will mean two things. So first of all, it was divisible by 8 and it is divisible by 9. Why I am saying this? Because 72, I can write this as 8 into 9, and both 8 and 9 are co-prime numbers. So if the entire number is completely divisible by 75, it should individually be divisible by 8 and 9 as well. Now what is the divisibility rule of 8? The last three digits should be divisible by 8. And for 9, sum of digits should be divisible by 9. Now let's just first check for divisibility by 8. So if divisibility by 8, so what I want is basically 9b6 to be completely divisible by 8, or I can write 9b6 modulo 8, 9b6 modulo 8 should be equal to 0. So what can be the value of b? From here I can say the value of b can be either 3, which is 936 is completely divisible by 8, 11, 1, it goes 117 times. So 117 into 8 is 936. So b is equal to 3. Or there is one more possible value of b, which is b is equal to 7. So 976 divided by 8. So 976 is 122. So 122 multiplied by 8 will give me 976. Thus the possible values of b is either 3 or 7. Now if I want the percentage divisibility by 9, so divisibility by 9 is sum of all these digits should be divisible by 9. So I can write 9 plus 4 plus a plus 2 plus 9 plus b plus 6, which is equal to 9 4 13, 2 15, 9 24 plus 6 30. So 30 plus a plus b should be divisible by 9. Now there can be two possible values for this. Either a plus b can be 6, a plus b can be 6, or a plus b can be 15. In both the cases, if it is a plus b is equal to 6, what will the sum of digits will be 36, and it is again divisible by 9. If it is a plus b 15, then 30 plus 15 45, 45 is again divisible by 9. We don't have to worry about a plus b as 24, because sum of any two single digits cannot be more than 18. It can be 9 plus 9 at max 18, and we can clearly see that a and b are basically digits, so it should be a single digit integer. So now if I say I have two cases, first is a plus b is equal to 6, and I had two possible values of b. So b is equal to 3 and b is equal to 7. Now if I put b is equal to 7, a will be equal to minus 1. If I put b as 7 and a is equal to minus 1, I can A will be -1, and thus I can eliminate this case. Why? Because A should be a positive single digit integer. A, B, both A and B should be positive single digit integer. It cannot be a negative value. So A is equal to -1 is never possible. Now another case is B is equal to 3. Now if B is equal to 3 and A plus B is 6, I should have A is equal to 3. But it is clearly given in the question that A cannot be equal to B, that A should not be equal to B. But in this case, B and E are coming to be 3, and thus I can reject this case as well. Now we have the second case, which is A plus B is equal to 15. So A plus B is equal to 15. Again, there are two possible values. Either B is equal to 3 or B is equal to 7. B is equal to 3 and B is equal to 7. If B is equal to 3, A will be equal to 12, and this is not possible because both A and B are single digit integers. Now if B is equal to 7, A is equal to 8, this is possible because A and B both are single digit integers, and the values of A and B are not equal. A is 8 and B is 7, which is different values. So thus I can write B is equal to 7 and A is equal to 8. So thus this equation will become 2 into 8 plus 3 into 7. Now 2 into 8 is 16 and 3 into 7 is 21. So 16 plus 21, this will be equal to 37. And therefore, what value of 2a plus 3b will be option B, which is 37. An equilateral triangle ABC is inscribed in a circle of radius 20 root 3 centimeter. So there is an equilateral triangle which is inscribed in a circle of radius 20 root 3 centimeter. What is the length of the side of the triangle? So we have a circle, and inside the circle there is a triangle. There is an equilateral triangle which is inscribed. So we have an equilateral triangle, and radius of this circle is 20 root 3 centimeter. So if I see what is the radius, this is basically, so first of all, this circle is basically a circumcircle. This circle is basically the circumcircle for triangle ABC. If I say this is ABC equilateral triangle, so for triangle ABC, this is the circumcircle. This is a circumcircle for triangle ABC. Now we have radius. So this radius, which is given as 20 root 3 centimeter, this will be a circumradius. This will be a circumradius. If this is a circumradius, what will happen is basically we can use the formula ABC by 4R is equals to area of triangle. Now since this is an equilateral triangle, so what I can assume that A is equal to B is equal to C is equals to X. So I can write X cube divided by 4 into what is the radius? Circumradius of the circle is 20 root 3 centimeter. So 4 into 20 root 3 should be equal to area of an equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 into A square. Root 3 by 4 into side square, and side is X, so root 3 by 4 into X square. So this 4 and 4 get cancelled, and one of this X square gets cancelled and only X is left. Now if I take this 20 root 3 to the right hand side, this will become X is equal to 20 root 3 multiplied by root 3, and thus I can write X is equal to 60 centimeter. Thus the side of the triangle is 60 centimeter, and therefore option D is the correct answer. The next question is saying, given below are two statements. In class of X of 30 students, 24 students passed in first division. In another class Y of 35 students, 28 passed in first division. So now there are two statements given. Statement 1 is saying class X has percentage of students getting first division, and statement 2 is saying equal percentage of students getting first division. So if I see for class X, there are 24 who are getting first division, and total is 30. The percentage of students getting first division is percentage is equal to 24 divided by 30 into 100, which is equal to 80%. 24 divided by 30 into 100, which is equal to 80%. And we have for Y, if we check, we have first division people as 28 students, first division, and total is 35 students. Thus I can write percentage is equal to 28 divided by 35 into 100. So we have 28, and this becomes 4 by 5 into 100, and again it is 80%. Now if I see both these percentages, that is for X and for Y, the percentage of students getting first division is same. It is same for X and Y, which is equal to 80%. Thus I can say statement 1 is not correct. It is not that X has more percentage or Y has more percentage, but statement 2, which is saying equal percentage, is the correct statement. And therefore I can say statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true, and option D is the correct answer. Arrange the following fractions in descending order. So we have to arrange them in descending order. So we have 5 by 9, 7 by 11, 8 by 15, and 11 by 17. So what I'll do, I'll see the decimal values of each of this. So if I see what is the decimal value of A, 5 by 9 is equal to 0.5555. I'll take up to 4 decimal places, it is 0.5555. Then for 7 by 11, it is 0.6363. 0.6363. These are general decimals. 1 by 9 is basically 0.11 and 1 by 11 is basically 0.0909. So if I am trying to find out the value of 7 by 11, I have to just multiply this by 7. So this will become 0.63. Now if I see C, which is 8 by 15, 1 by 15 is 0.0666. So if I am trying to find out the value of 8 by 15, so this will become 0.5333. Now if I try to calculate the value of D, which is 11 by 17, this will be equal to 0.1760102. So this becomes 102, 8 is left, then 4, 68, 120, then 7 we are left with only 10. So yeah, 0.6471 will be the value for D. 706. So 706 can be rounded off to 0.6471. So if I have to arrange them in the descending order, so the highest value I can see is D, then we have B, then we have A, then we have C. So DBAC is the value, it's the descending order of this thing, and thus I can say option D, which is DBAC, is the correct answer. The next question is saying simplify this expression. So if I see root of 0.0625, which is a fourth root, so this will be equal to, this can be written as 0.5 to the whole power 4, and this fourth root can be written as to the whole power 1 by 4. So this will be equal to 0.5 because this 4 and 4 get cancelled, and this will be 0.5. Then cube root of 0.008, this will be 0.2, and square root of 0.09, this is equal to 0.3. So thus if I have to simplify this expression, I can write this as 0.5 plus 0.2 plus 0.3 minus 1 divided by under root 62.5 cube root of 62.5 into 32 ka fifth root. Now if I check this, this is 0.5, 0.2, 0.7 plus 0.31. So this becomes, the entire expression become 1, and 1 minus 1, this becomes 0. So this is 0 divided by some number, let's say k, and 0 divided by k is 0, and thus I can say the entire expression is simplified to option C, which is 0. The next question is a 2-question set. It is basically we have certain instructions given, and then we are followed when we are given 2 more questions, which we have to answer on the basis of these instructions. Let's read the instructions. Ram and Sham run a race between points A and B. There is point A and B, which is 5 km apart. So this distance is 5 kilometers. Ram starts at 9 am from A. So Ram starts at 9 am from A at a speed of 5 km per hour and reaches B and comes back to A at the same speed. Sham starts at 9:45 am. So Sham starts at 9:45 am at 10 km per hour. Okay. Reaches B and comes back to A at the same speed. So this is all the instructions. So let's look at the questions now. At what time do Ram and Sham meet each other? So first of all, we are given that Ram starts at 9 am and Sham starts at 9:45. So let's say when Sham is starting at 9:45 am, Ram will reach somewhere here because Ram has started at 9 am. He has started at 9 am at 5 kmph. He started at 9 am at 5 kmph. Now he is traveling for 45 minutes. So it is 5 kmph and he is traveling for 3 by 4 hours. So thus I can write the distance covered by him will be 5 into 3 by 4, which is equal to 3.75 kilometers. 5 into 3 by 4, which is equal to 3.75 kilometers. So this distance I can write, this is 3.75 kilometers. And thus Ram is at this point at 9:45 and he is traveling at 5 and Sham is traveling at 10. So first of all, let's say Ram will cover this distance. Ram will cover this distance, which is the remaining distance, which is 1.25 kilometers, because the entire distance is 5 kilometers. So 1.25 kilometers. This 1.25 kilometers he can cover in 1.25 kilometers, and the speed is 5 kilometers per hour. So 1.25 divided by 5, which is equal to 0.25 hour, or I can write 15 minutes. Thus, when Ram will reach at 10 am, Ram will reach here and he will start moving towards A, because this is point B and this is point A. Ram will reach at 10 am at B and he will start moving towards A. Now, at the same time, what will happen to Sham? So, Sham will again, he is traveling at 10 km per hour, and since Ram is at 10 am is at B, we will see where is Sham. So, Sham, it is 1 by 4 hours. So, 10 into 1 by 4 will be the distance covered by Sham, because it is traveling at 10 km per hour and he is traveling for 1 by 4 hours. So, 10 into 1 by 4, which is equal to 2.5 kilometers. So, 2.5 kilometer will be somewhere here, and therefore I can say Sham will be here at 10 am at 10 kilometers per hour, traveling at 10 km per hour. Now, what is happening? Ram is coming towards Sham at 5 km per hour and Sham is going towards Ram at 10 km per hour. This is our scenario. This is the correct scenario. Now, this distance between them is 2.5 kilometers. The distance between them is 2.5 kilometers. Sham is going at 10 km per hour towards Ram and Ram is coming at 5 km per hour towards Sham. So, thus we can apply relative motion to find out at what time they will meet. The time to meet will be now. The total distance is 2.5 kilometers, and since they both are moving towards each other, their speeds will add up. So, 10 plus 5 is 15. So, 2.5 divided by 15, which is equal to 1 by 6 hour, or I can write 10 minutes. So, thus after 10 am, it will take them 10 more minutes to reach to meet. Let's say this is point X. Now, after 10 am, when Sham is at X and Ram is at B and both of them are moving towards each other, so it will take another 10 minutes for them to meet. So, I can say at 10:10 am, they both will be meeting, and thus the correct answer will be option B, which is 10:10 am. The next question of this set, that is the second question, is at what time does Sham overtake Ram? So, firstly, as per the previous question, I mentioned that at 10 am, Ram is at point B and Sham is at X. So, I'll use this information. So, Ram is at point this, which is 10 am, traveling at 5 km per hour towards A. This is B and this is A. And Sham is at the midpoint at 10 am. Sham is at the midpoint at 10 am, traveling towards B at 10 km per hour. So, first of all, what I need to find out, this distance is 2.5 kilometers. So, first I want Sham to reach at point B. So, in how much time Sham can reach? It is basically 2.5 kilometers. That is the distance upon what is the speed? Speed is 10 km per hour. He has to cover 2.5 km in 10 km per hour. So, this will be 1 by 4 hour, or I can write 15 minutes. So, after 10 am, Sham will take 15 more minutes to reach point B. So, if I have to draw out this diagram again, it will look something like this. And also in the meantime, this is in 15 minutes, Ram is also traveling from B to A, and he is traveling at speed 5 km per hour. So, thus the distance covered by Ram will be, after 10 am, that is for next 15 minutes, distance covered by Ram will be 5 into 1 by 4 hour. I need to find out their positions at 10:15 am. I want to see where they both are standing at 10:15 am. So, he will cover 5 into 1 by 4 hour, which is 1.25 kilometers. So, now if I have to redraw the diagram, this will something look like this. So, this is B, this is A. At 10:15, that is 15 minutes after 10, Sham will reach B. So, Sham will reach B at 10:15 am and he will travel at 10 km per hour towards A. Now, Ram has also got 1.25 kilometers. So, Ram will be somewhere here. So, Ram is here at 10:15 am, traveling at 5 km per hour towards A. So, now if I can see, this distance is 1.25 kilometers, and I want to see when will, the question is asking when will Sham overtake Ram. So, if I apply the relative concept, if I apply the relative concept here, I can see the distance between them is 1.25 kilometer, and both of them are moving towards in the same direction. That is, Ram is also moving towards A and Sham is also moving towards A. So, thus their speeds will be taken negative. If I even apply this relative concept, if I put Ram at rest, the speed of Sham will be 10 minus 5, which is 5 km relative to Ram. So, thus the distance time taken to overtake will be when Sham will complete this gap of distance. So, he will cover, this is 1.25 kilometers divided by, since we are they both are moving in the same direction, we have to take the difference. In the previous case, they both were moving in the opposite direction, that is towards each other. So we added their speeds. Now they are moving in the same direction, so we have to take the difference of the speed. So 1.25 divided by 10 minus 5, this is equal to 1.25 divided by 5 kilometer per hour, or this is equal to 1 by 4 hour, or I can write 15 minutes. Thus, after 10:15 am, it will take 15 minutes for Sham to overtake Ram. So Sham will overtake Ram at 10:30 am. Sham will overtake Ram at 10:30 am. He will reach somewhere here, and at this point, both Ram and Sham will be at the same point. And just at 10:30 am, Sham will overtake Ram. So thus, I can say the correct answer for this question is option B, which is 10:30 am. The roots of the equation x square minus px plus 54 is equal to 0 are in the ratio 2:3, then the value of p is. So roots are in the ratio 2:3, so I can assume alpha, one of the root as 2k, and beta, other root as 3k. So 2k and 3k are the two roots. Now we're given the equation as x square minus px plus 54 is equal to 0. The sum of roots will be equal to alpha plus beta is equal to p, which is minus p of minus p divided by 1, and thus I can write alpha plus beta is 2k plus 3k, so 5k is equal to p. So this is the first equation. Now we have product of roots, which is alpha beta. This is equal to 54 divided by 1, which is 54. So thus I can write 2k into 3k is 6k square. So 6k square is equal to 54. I can further write this as k square is equal to 9, or I can write k is equals to plus minus 3. K is equals to plus minus 3. I can put the value of k over in the first equation. So p will be equal to 5 multiplied by plus minus 3, or I can write p is equals to plus minus 15. Now p is equal to plus minus 15, so p can be either plus 15 or p can be minus 15, and thus if I see the options, only plus 15 is there, so option D, plus 15 will be the correct answer. The next question is saying if each side of a cube is decreased by 19%, then decrease in surface area is. So let's say the side of the cube was A. Now it is decreased by 19%, so it is decreased by 19%, which means A into 1 minus 19 by 100. So A into 1 minus 0.19, or I can write A into 0.81. This is 0.81A. Now surface area is 6 into side square. 6 into side square. So if I calculate the surface area in this case, it will be 6 into A square, which is side square is A, side is A, so it will be 6 into A square. In this case, the surface area, that is, let's say this one is old and this one is new. New surface area will be 6 into side square. Now side square is 0.81A, so side surface area will be 0.81 का whole square, which is 0.6561 A square. 81 का whole square is 81 का whole square is 6561, and since this is 0.81, it will be 0.6561 A square. Now I need to find out the decrease in surface area. So decrease in surface area, percentage decrease in surface area will be equal to what was the original? Original was 6A square. What is, new surface area will be 6 into 0.6561 A square. So this will be equal to, new one is, original one was 6A square, new is minus 6 into 0.6561 A square divided by, what is the original one? Since we have to find out the percentage decrease, we have to consider this as the base component. Why? Because we have to find out, as compared to the original one, what is the percentage change? What is the percentage change in the area? So 6A square minus 6 into the surface area of new will be 6 times 0.6561 A square divided by 6A square into 100. Now A squares get cancelled and also 6 get cancelled. So this will be equal to 1 minus 0.6561 into 100. This value will be 0.3439 into 100, and thus I can write 34.39% is the percentage decrease. 34.39% is the percentage decrease, and therefore option B, 34.39% is the correct answer. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, which is cot 30 degree plus 1 divided by cot 30 degree minus 1 is equal to 2 cos 30 degree plus 1, and statement 2 is 2 sin 45 cos 45 minus tan 45 cot 45 is equal to 0. So what is, first of all, we have to see the values of each. So cot 30, this is equal to root 3. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3, so cot 30 will be 1 upon tan 30, which is root 3. Now, we also need to find out cos 30. So cos 30 we know is root 3 by 2. Sin 60 is root 3 by 2, so cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Sin 45 and cos 45 are equal, and this is equal to 1 by root 2. And tan 45 and cot 45 are equal, and this is equal to 1. So now let's check each statement. Statement 1 is saying cot 30 degree plus 1 upon cot 30 degree minus 1. So first let's check for LHS. So LHS is cot 30 degree is root 3. So root 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 minus 1. Now what I'll do, I'll rationalize this. I'll say root 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 plus 1. This will be equal to root 3 plus 1 ka whole square divided by root 3 ka square minus 1 ka square. This will be equal to root 3 plus 1 ka whole square is 3 plus 1 plus 2 root 3, which is 4 plus 2 root 3, and root 3 square minus 1 square is 3 minus 1, which is 2. So this will be 4 plus 2 root 3 divided by 2, or I can write 2 plus root 3. So this is my LHS value. LHS is simplified to 2 plus root 3. Now let's check RHS. So RHS is 2 times cos 30 degree plus 1. 2 times cos 30 degrees plus 1. So 2 into cos 30 degree is root 3 by 2. So 2 into root 3 by 2 plus 1. If I simplify this, this will become 2. 2 and 2 get cancelled. This will be 2 into root 3 by 2 into root 3 by 2 will be root 3, and 2 into 1 is 2. So root 3 plus 2, or I can write 2 plus root 3. Now both LHS and RHS are equal. Both LHS and RHS are equal. So I can say, first of all, statement 1 is correct. Statement 1 is true because I can clearly I can clearly find out that LHS is equal to RHS. Now we have statement 2, which is 2 sin 45 cos 45 minus tan 45 cot 45 is equal to 0. So we have statement 2. 2 sin 45 is basically 2 into 1 by root 2, and cos 45 is 1 by root 2. So 2 into 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2 minus tan 45 is 1 and cot 45 is 1. So 1 into 1 is equals to. So 2 into 1 by root 2, if I see the LHS first, this is my LHS. So 2 into 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2, this is 2 by 2, which is 1. So 1 minus tan 45 cot 45 is 1. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. And we can clearly find out that RHS is also 0. And again, LHS and RHS both are equal. LHS and RHS both are equal, and therefore I can say statement 2 is also correct. Statement 2 is also correct. So both statement 1 and statement 2 are true. So thus option A, I can say, is the correct answer, that both statement 1 and statement 2 are true. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other is labeled as reason. Assertion is saying the sum of n terms of the progression 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 ka whole square is this, which is 2 to the power n minus 1 minus 1 upon 2 to the power n minus 1. Reason R is saying the sum of a geometric series having n terms is given by Sn is equal to a into 1 minus r to the power n upon 1 minus r, where a is the first term and r is the common ratio. So one thing I can definitely say that reason R is correct, because sum of geometric series is basically a into 1 minus r to the whole power n divided by 1 minus r, when r is from 0 to 1. When r is from 0 to 1, the sum of series is 1 minus r to the power n upon 1 minus r. Now let's check the assertion now. So in assertion we have given a geometric series whose first term is 1, and common ratio is, we can see, multiplied by 1 by 2, multiplied by 1 by 2, multiplied by 1 by 2, multiplied by 1 by 2. So this follows. So common ratio is 1 by 2. So if I substitute the value of a and 1 by 2 equation in this part, this will be equal to a. So this is 1 into 1 minus 1 by 2 to the whole power n divided by 1 minus 1 by 2. So this is equal to 1 into, we can just remove 1 into, and just we can write this is 1 by 2 and 1 minus 1 by 2 to the whole power n. Further simplified to, this 1 by 2 becomes, this will go into top, so this becomes 2 into, this will be 2 to the power n minus 1 divided by 2 to the power n. Thus the sum for the assertion will be 2 to the power n minus 1 upon this 2 and this 2 to the power n. I can again take this as 1 by 2, so this becomes 1 by 2. So 2 to the power n into 1 by 2, this will be equal to 2 to the power n minus 1. So this is the sum of assertion. This is the sum of assertion. But assertion sum is given as 2 to the power n minus 1. This is 2 to the power n. As per the formula, as per the reason, it is 2 to the power n, but as the assertion it is given as 2 to the power n minus 1. Thus I can say assertion A is false, but the reason for that sum of the series is true. So A is not correct, but R is correct. So thus option D, which is A is false but R is true, is the correct answer. The next question is saying if A is 40% less efficient than B, who can do the same work in 20% less time than C? Okay, so A is 40% less efficient than C. This means that A is equal to 0.6 B, because he is 40% less. So B into his efficiency will be B into 1 minus 40%, or I can write B into 1 minus 0.4, which is equal to 0.6B. So A is 40% less efficient than B, who can do the same work in 20% less time than C. Then further it is given that B, who can do the same work in 20% less time than C. So if I say C is doing in D days, B will take 0.8 days, because B 0.8 D days, because B is taking 20% less time than C. So if C is taking D days, B will take 0.8 D days for the same work. So I can write, if I say this is the efficiency of C is C and efficiency of B is B. So the work done by C in D days will be C into D, and work done by B in 0.8 D days will be B into 0.8 D. And they both are doing the same work. So thus I can say this D and D get cancelled. This I can write as 4 by 5, and thus C will be equal to 4B by 5. C will be equal to 4B by 5. What I'll do, I'll assume B is equal to 10x. I'll assume B is equal to 10x because I have 5. So this value I'll put here. So I'll get C is equal to 4 by 5 into 10x, which is 8x. Now if I put B is equal to 10x over here, I'll get 0.6 into 10x, A is equal to 6x. So A is 6x, B is 10x, and C is 8x. Now let's further read. If A and B can complete 80% of work in 12 days. So when A and B are working, they're completing 80% of work in 12 days. So what I can say is, if I assume the total work as W, this as my total work, if I assume total work as W, so 80% of work, so 80% of W is done by A and B both in 12 days. So this will be 12 into A plus B. Because A and B are the efficiency, so 12 into A plus B will be equal to 80% of work. So 80% will be 4 by 5 into W will be equal to 12 times A is 6x and B is 10x. So 6 into 10 is 16, and this goes 80, so work will be 240x. Simplifying this will give me work is equal to 240x. It is asking about, then in how many days work 60% work can be completed by B and C together. So if the total work is 240x, 60% of this will be 0.6 into 240x, or I can write 144x. So now the remaining work will be 144x. So 144x needs to be done by B and C, and we have to find out how many days will they take. So I can write 144x is equal to B plus C into, let's say they are taking Y number of days. So B and C are the efficiency and Y is the days taken, and we have to do 60% of the work, and 60% of the work is 144x. Now B is 10x, C is 8x, so I'll substitute this. So 144x is equal to 10x plus 8x is 18x. So 144x is equal to 18x into Y. This x get cancelled, and thus Y is equal to, I can write 18 8 is 144. So Y is equal to 8 days. Y is equal to 8 days. So thus there are, they both B and C will take 8 days to complete the work, and therefore I can write option C, 8 days is the correct answer. The next question is saying A speaks the truth in 75% cases and B in 80% of the cases. In what percentage of cases are they likely to contradict each other in narrating the same incident? So A is speaking truth in 75% cases. So probability of basically A speaking the truth is 0.75. It is 0.75 because he is speaking the truth in 75% cases. So probability of A lying will be 0.25. This will be 25% of the cases he will lie. Similarly, for probability of B saying the truth is B saying the truth is 80% of the cases. So the probability of B saying the truth is 0.8. And thus, if B speaks 80% of the cases the truth, so he will speak for the 20% of the cases the lie. So probability of B lying will be equal to 0.2. Now we have to find out in what percentage of cases are they likely to contradict each other. So they have to contradict. So when will they contradict? They will contradict when A is saying the truth and B is saying the lie, because then both of them will be saying a different case, and thus they both are contradicting each other. Or I can say when A is saying the lie and B is saying the truth. When A is saying the lie, B is saying the truth. So again in this case as well they will contradict, because A is not saying the correct statement but B is saying the correct statement. So both of them are saying different statements, and thus they will contradict. So thus the probability of the event, probability of contradicting, This will be equal to probability of A speaking the truth multiplied by probability of B lying. That is, A is truth and B is lying, or A is lying and B is speaking the truth. So or means plus. So A speaking the lie, so AL multiplied by B speaking the truth, so P BP. So A speaking the truth is 0.75 multiplied by B lying is 0.2. So 0.75 plus 0.2 plus A lying is 0.25. So 0.25 multiplied by B speaking the truth is 0.8. So 0.25 into 0.8. 0.75 into 0.2 is 0.15. And 0.25 into 0.8 is 0.20. So this will be equal to 0.35. The probability of contradicting each other will be 0.35, or I can say 35% of the cases they will contradict. 35% of the cases they will contradict, and thus option C, 35% is the correct answer. The next question is saying, by selling 2 articles for rupees 800, a person gains the cost price of 3 articles. So selling price is basically 800. There are 2 articles. Let's say the cost price of each article, CP of each article, is equal to rupees X. Cost price of each article is equal to rupees X. Now selling price of both the articles is rupees 800. Cost price will be, CP will be equal to, since there are 2 articles and each article is priced at rupees X, this will be 2X. And it is given a person gains the cost price of 3 articles. So his profit, basically his gain will be his profit. This is equal to 3 times the cost price of 3 articles. So article of each cost price of each article is X. So 3 article will be 3X. So thus if I apply profit is equal to SP minus CP formula, I'll get profit which is 3X is equal to SP which is 800 minus CP which is 2X. So 3X is equal to 800 minus 2X, and thus 5X is equal to 800, or I can write X is equal to 160. X is equal to 160. Now cost price of each article is 160 rupees. Thus I can write this cost price will be equal to 2 into X, which is 320 rupees. Now selling price of 2 article is rupees 800 and cost price of 2 articles rupees 320. We have to find out the profit percentage. So profit percent will be SP minus CP divided by CP into 100. SP is 800, so 800 minus CP is 320. So 800 minus 320 divided by 320 into 100. This will be equal to 480 divided by 320 into 100. This is 1.5 into 100, which is equal to 150%. Thus profit percentage is 150%, and therefore I can say option D, which is 150%, is the correct answer. The next question is saying a person travels 3 equal distances at a speed of A km per hour, B km per hour and C km per hour respectively. What is the average speed for the whole journey? So 3 equal distances are being traveled. So basically there's a distance D which is traveled at A kmph. Then there's another distance D which is traveled at B kmph. And there's another distance D which is traveled at C kmph. Now if we see what is the total distance, and roughly we have to find out average speed. So what is average speed? Average speed is nothing but total distance divided by total time. Now first find out what is the total distance. So total distance is it is D plus D plus D. So this will be D plus D plus D, which is equal to 3D. So this is the total distance. Now if I tell you about the total time taken, so this is D kilometers and D kilometers, and it is A kilometers per hour, B kilometers per hour and C kilometers per hour. So time taken will be, for this part this will be D upon A hours. For this part it will be D upon A hours. For this part it will be D upon B hours. For this part, the second part, for B kilometer per hour, it will be D upon B, and for third part it will be D upon C. Thus if I see what is the total time now, so total time will be D upon A plus D upon B plus D upon C, or I can write D into 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C. So this is my total time. Now I'll put the value of total distance over here and total time over here. Thus my average speed will be 3D upon D into 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C. So D and D get cancelled. This will be 3 times AB plus BC plus CA. If I take the LCM as ABC, it will come out as AB plus BC plus CA. ABC I can take to the numerator. So this will become 3ABC divided by AB plus BC plus CA. So this will be the average speed of the entire journey, and thus a correct option will be option D, which is 3ABC upon AB plus BC plus CA. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, then the value of 1 upon a alpha plus b plus 1 upon a beta plus b is. So I am given the equation ax square plus bx plus c, and there are two roots alpha and beta for this. So firstly I can say alpha plus beta will be equal to minus b upon a, and alpha beta will be equal to c upon a. Now this was the sum of roots and the product of the roots. Now since alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, what I can do is I can put the value of x as alpha and x as beta, since alpha and beta are the roots of the equation. So ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 when x is alpha or when x is beta. So if I put x is equal to alpha, I'll get a alpha square plus b alpha plus c is equal to 0. I further solve this, this will become a alpha square plus b alpha, or I'll take alpha common here first. I can take c to the right hand side, and now I can easily take alpha common. So alpha into a alpha plus b is equal to minus c, and thus I can write a alpha plus b is equal to minus c upon alpha. Similarly, if I put x is equal to beta, this beta is also the root of the equation. I can write a beta square plus b beta plus c is equal to 0. I can again take beta common again. So b beta into a beta plus b is equal to minus c, and thus I can write a beta plus b is equal to minus c upon beta. Now we need to find out 1 upon a alpha plus b and 1 upon a beta plus b. So what I can do, I can put the value of 1 upon a alpha plus b and 1 upon a beta plus b. So thus I'll get, basically if I simplify this part, I'll get as 1 upon simplifying 1 upon minus c by alpha plus 1 upon minus c by beta. So this will be equal to, I can take it to the above, so this will become minus, I can take common first of all because both has minus, so minus will be taken out, and this will be alpha upon c plus beta upon c. Further can be written as minus of alpha plus beta upon whole c. Now alpha plus beta, I have clearly said that it is minus b upon a. Alpha plus beta, since it is x square plus bx plus c equal to 0, sum of the roots will be coefficient of x minus of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. So this I can write minus, we'll take common, alpha plus beta can be written as minus b upon a whole divided by c. This minus minus get cancelled, and this can be simplified to b upon ac. This can be simplified to b upon ac, and thus I can say the correct answer for this will be option B, which is b upon ac. The next question is saying the sides of 4 triangles are given below. Which of them forms a right triangle? So right angle triangle we have to find out. So the condition for right angle triangle is square of the larger side is equal to sum of squares of the other side. Sum of squares of the other side. So this will use for finding out which of them forms a right angle triangle. So if I see, take A, what is the larger side? Largest side is 24. So 24 ka whole square is 576. It should be equal to sum of squares of the other sides. Now what is sum of squares of the other side? Sum of squares of the other side is 20 square plus 22 square. This can be written as 400. 20 square is 400 and 22 square is 484. So 400 plus 484, this will be equal to 884. Now my largest side square is not equal to sum of the other squares of the other two sides. So thus I can say this is not a right angle triangle. So A is not a right angle triangle. Let's check for B now. B is 15, 32, 37. What is the largest side? Largest side is 37 centimeters. So 37 ka square. This is equal to 1369. Now it should be equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. So this is 15 square plus 32 square. Let's check this one. So 15 square is 225, and 32 square is 1024. So this is 1024. Adding this up will give us 1249. 1249. 15 square plus 32 square is 1249. Now square of the largest side is 1369, and sum of the squares of the other two sides is 1249. This is not equal, so thus I can say this is also not a right angle triangle. So B is also not a right angle triangle. Let's check for C now. C is given 11 centimeter, 60 centimeter and 61 centimeter. The largest side is 61. So 61 ka whole square This is equal to 3721. 61 square is 3721. Now this should be equal to the sum of squares of the other two sides. So let's check 11 square plus 60 square. Now what is 11 square? 11 square is 121, and what is 60 square? It is 3600. So 3600 plus 121, this will be equal to 3721, and thus I can clearly see square of the largest side is equal to sum of squares of the other two sides. So I can say this can be a right angle triangle. So C can be a right angle triangle. Now let's check for D now. D is a classic example of a right angle triangle, which is 6, 8 and 10. It is a classic right angle triangle, but again we'll double verify it. 10 centimeter is basically 10 square, which is 100, because 10 is the largest side, so 100 centimeter. Now this should be equal to sum of the square of the other two sides. So 6 square plus 8 square, this is 36 plus 64, which is equal to 100. Now this value and this value is equal, so this is also a right angle triangle. So I can say D will also be a right angle triangle. Thus I can say C and D both will be a right angle triangle, and therefore option D will be the correct answer. The factors of the polynomial x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6 are. So in order to find out the factors, what we have to do is basically we have to equate this equation x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6. This should be equal to 0, and then only we can find out the factors. Now since this is a cubic equation, what we need to do is basically we need to find out the first root, and first root is generally found by using hit and trial method. So we'll put the values of x as minus 1, 1, 2, minus 2, 3, minus 3, and among the 6 there will be one value which will satisfy this equation. So let's check for x is equal to 1 first. So we'll get 1 ka cube minus 6 into 1 square plus 11 into 1 minus 6. So this is 1 minus 6 plus 11 minus 6, which is 1 plus 11 is 12. 12 minus 6 is 6, 6 minus 6 is 0. So this is equal to 0. So thus I can say x is equal to 1 is satisfying this equation. X is equal to 1 will make this equation 0, and thus first point can be x minus 1 will be the factor. X minus 1 will be the factor of this equation. Why? Because at x is equal to 1 we are getting this is something which is an extension of remainder theorem, that at x is equal to 1 the polynomial becomes 0. So thus there is no remainder which is left, and thus it will be a factor of the entire equation. So x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6, this will x minus 1 is one factor. So now x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6, this is equal to x minus 1 into some equation. Now how do we find out some equation? That particular equation, which is this equation, is basically we keep on comparing the coefficients. So this is x and this is x cube. Now in order to get the x cube, I have to first take x square, because x into x square will be x cube. So this part of the equation is done. Now x into x square is x cube, minus 1 into x square is minus x square, and in the right hand side there is minus 6x square. In the right hand side there is minus 6x square. So I already have minus x square, and if I want to make it minus 6x square, I have to take one more minus 5x square. Now if this is x and I want minus 5x square, what I have to take is basically I have to take minus 5x as well, because what will happen, x into minus 5x will give me minus 5x square. So up till now what is the equation? X into x square is x cube, so this part is handled. X into x square with x cube, minus 1 into x square is minus x square, plus x, now this now we'll take minus 5x, so plus x into minus 5x is minus 5x square. So minus x square minus 5x square is 6x square, so this minus 6x square, so this part is also handled. Now minus 1 into minus 5x will be plus 5x. Minus 1 into minus 5x will be plus 5x, and I need plus 11x. The third part is saying the coefficient of x should be 11. So thus I need plus 6x as well. Now if this is x, I need 6x, so what I'll do, I'll add 6 to it. So plus 5x plus 6x, this will be 11x, and last part is minus 6, so minus 1 into plus 6 is minus 6. So this satisfies our equation as well. So now if we solve it, this will be give me x into x square is x cube minus 1 x square, so x cube minus x square up till now. Then x into minus 5x is minus 5x square. So x cube minus x square minus 5x square will be x cube minus 6x square, and minus 1 into 5x will be plus 5x. So x cube minus 6x square plus 5x up till now. Now we have x minus 1 into 6, so this will be plus 6x. So x cube minus 5x square plus 5x plus 6x, this will be 11x, and minus 1 into 6 will be minus 6. So we'll get this entire equation. So thus this equation can be written in this form. Now I have to factorize this one as well. This can be factorized as, I can completely copy x minus 1, and x square minus 5x plus 6 can be written as x square minus 2x minus 3x plus 6. This will be equal to x minus 1 into x minus 2 into x minus 3. So this entire equation can be finally written as x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 2 multiplied by x minus 3. So x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6 can be written as x minus 1 plus x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 2 multiplied by x minus 3, and these three are the factors. These three are the factors of the given polynomial, and thus I can say the correct answer is option C, which is x minus 1, x minus 2 into x minus 3. A circle, square, equilateral triangle and regular pentagon have the same areas. Arrange the following in ascending order based on their perimeters. So circle, square, equilateral triangle and a regular pentagon have the same areas. We have to arrange them in their increasing order of their parameters. So if I see a circle, so what is the point with circle is circle will cover most area with very less parameter as compared to other figures. Why this is the case? Because circle is round in shape and it is covering more area on the plate. Now, if you see the side length, this will be less as compared to other regular figures, because what ultimately the circle, it is made up of infinite number of triangles. So it is something like this. Circle is made of infinite number of triangles like this, infinite number of small triangles like this, which ultimately looks like a circle. This is a straight line, but these are so many triangles that this will look like a circle only. This will follow a curved path. It is so small and there are infinite number of small base triangles that it starts looking like a circle. It starts representing like a circle. So it's like this. So all of them when added up will basically form a circle, because the small bases will contribute to a bigger circle. Now if we see the small thing, if we compare it with the other triangle, let's say with the equilateral triangle, so this small is very less as compared to the entire base length. Now if I even add it up, basically what happens is, let's say this is the equilateral triangle, if I just add it up, so this will be 2 pi r. The perimeter will be 2 pi r. If I take the side of the equilateral triangle, this 2 pi r will be greater than a, but it will always be less than 3a. This will be always be less than 3a. If I am saying the areas of both the figures are same. If areas of both the figures are same, so thus at that time I can say the perimeter of triangle will always be lesser, and this will follow for all of them. What will happen is basically, as the number of sides in a regular polygon increases, the perimeter of that particular figure will decrease, and ultimately, so what happened, let's say there is a triangle, then we have square, then we have pentagon, then we have hexagon, then hectagon or septagon, then octagon. So for all these figures, what will happen is basically if the areas are constant, perimeter will decrease. Because ultimately in all of them, because it is a small bases, will ultimately form a circle only. So for this circle, the perimeter will be least, and for this triangle, perimeter will be the highest, because certainly it is covering the least amount of area and taking up a long side length. So it is taking up this side length. Now this side length, if I compare it, this area, and let's say this is the square which is taking up the same area as the equilateral triangle. So what will happen? The side length here is more. 3 into side length, the side length is more. So 3 multiplied by the side length will be more. But for the square, this side length will be lesser than this one. The side length, let's say if this is A, this is B, A will be greater than B. We can even compare this. Let's say if the areas are same, so I can write root 3 by 4 A square should be equal to B square. Since the areas are same, root 3 by 4 into A square should be equal to B square. If I take the root from here, so this will be equal to under root of root 3 by 4 into A, or I can write B is equal to 3 to the power 1 by 4 upon 2 into A. 3 to the power 1 by 4 upon 2 into A. Now 3 to the power 1 by 4 is definitely less than 2. This value, this particular value, 3 to the power 1 by 4 is less than 2. So this value will be less than 1, because it is divided by 2. So definitely, if let's say it is 1.6, so 1.6 divided by 2 is 0.8. So B is equal to 0.8A. and thus B I can definitely say is less than A. Now when B is less than A, what will happen? The overall, because if I calculate the value of 3 to the power 1 by 4 exactly, 3 to the power 1 by 2 is 1.73. Now under root of 1.73 will be something around 1.3 ka whole square is 1.69, so this will be equal to 1.31 or 1.32. Now if I let's say if I take 3 to the power 1 by 4 as 1.32, so this value will be, because ultimately approximation will lead us to wrong results, so 3 to the power 1 by 4 upon 2 into A, 3 to the power 1 by 4 will be equal to 1.32 divided by 2 into A. So this value B will be equal to 0.66A. B will be equal to 0.66A. So what will ultimately happen? Basically the perimeter of this equilateral triangle will be 3A, and perimeter of the square will be 4B, which is 4 into 0.66A, which is 2.64A. And we can clearly see the perimeter of the equilateral triangle is more than the perimeter of the square. So with that logic, I can definitely say that when the sides are increasing, and if I say area is constant, area is not changing, I can definitely say perimeter will decrease. Perimeter will decrease. So more the number of sides, more sides will mean less perimeter. And ultimately circle will be the figure which will have the least perimeter, because it will have it is having a lot of infinite number of bases which is merging up to form a circle. It is basically a triangle which is merged infinite number of times, but it is looking like a circle. So more sides, so ultimately a circle will have the infinite number of sides and thus will be the least perimeter. So I can just say more sides will be less perimeter and circle with the least. So if I have to arrange them now in the ascending order, the least perimeter will be for circle, which is A. Now after circle, we have to find out the figure with the maximum number of sides. Now this is regular pentagon. Regular pentagon has 5 sides. So A, after A we will have D. So A will have the least perimeter, then D. Then least number of sides is square, which is 4. So AD, if it less than B, then B will have the second highest parameter, and C, which is an equilateral triangle, will have the highest parameter among the 4 figures, and therefore option C, ADBC is the correct answer. The next question is saying if the highest common factor of x square minus px minus q and 5x square minus 3px minus 15q is x minus 3, then the value of p comma q will be. So if you have a polynomial which is px and the factor of px is x minus a, if x minus a is a factor and px is a polynomial, so I can say p of a is equal to 0. This is basically remainder theorem. This is remainder theorem, that if if x minus a is the factor of px, then at a, p of a will be equal to 0. Similarly, if I say if this is my polynomial and this is one of the factor, x minus 3 is a factor, so I can say p of 3 will be equal to 0. If I say this is my p of x and this is my q of x, then I can say p of 3 is equal to 0, and since x minus 3 is also a factor of q of x, so q of 3 will also be equal to 0. Now if p of 3 is equal to 0, this will be equal to, I have to put x is equal to 3. So this will be 9 minus 3p minus q is equal to 0, or I can write 3p plus q is equal to 9. This is my first equation. Now if I say q of 3 is equal to 0, I have to put 3 in place of x in q of x. So thus I can write 5 into 3 square minus 3p into 3 minus 15q. This should be equal to 0, and further solving this will give me 9p plus 15q is equals to 45. I can take 3 common, so this will give me 3p plus 5q is equal to 15. So this is my second equation. Now this is my first equation and this is my second equation. This is 3p plus q is equal to 9 and this is 3p plus 5q is equal to 15. If I do 2 minus 1, if I do second equation minus first equation, I'll get 3p and 3p will get cancelled, and this will result in 4q is equal to 6, or I can write q is equal to 3 by 2. If I put the value of q in this or in this, I'll get the value of p. So let me put it in this equation. So this will be 3p plus q is 3 by 2. So 3p plus 3 by 2 should be equal to 9. Taking this to the right hand side, this will be equal to 3p is equal to 9 minus 3 by 2, which is 9 to the 18 minus 3, which is 15 by 2. So 3p is equal to 15 by 2 and p is equals to 5 by 2. P is equal to 5 by 2. So Q is equal to 3 by 2 and P is equal to 5 by 2, and therefore I can say the value of pair P comma Q will be 5 by 2 comma 3 by 2, and therefore option C 5 by 2 comma 3 by 2 will be the correct answer. The next question is saying if sin theta plus cos theta is equal to under root 7 by 2, then sin theta minus cos theta is equal to. So sin theta plus cos theta is equals to under root 7 by 2. What I'll do, I'll square both sides. I'll square both sides. So I'm squaring both sides, which means sin square theta plus cos square theta plus 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to 7 by 4. Now sin square theta plus cos square theta, this is equal to 1 plus 2 sin theta cos theta, this should be equal to 7 by 4. Now further solving this, I can write this as 2 sin theta cos theta. I can take 1 to the right hand side, so 7 by 4 minus 1, this will be equal to 3 by 4. So 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to 3 by 4. We need to find the value of sin theta minus cos theta. So let's say k is equal to sin theta minus cos theta. Again, I'll square both sides. I'll do square both sides. So this will be equal to k square is equal to sin theta minus cos theta ka whole square. So k square will be equal to sin square theta plus cos square theta minus 2 sin theta cos theta. Now sin square theta plus cos square theta, this is equal to 1. So k square is equal to 1 minus 2 sin theta cos theta I can put as 3 by 4. 2 sin theta cos theta I can put as 3 by 4. So 1 minus 3 by 4. So k square will be equal to 1 by 4, or I can say k will be equal to plus minus 1 by 2. So thus I can write sin theta minus cos theta will be equal to k, which is equal to plus minus 1 by 2, and thus option B, which is plus 1 by 2, is the correct answer. The next question is saying 15 people from different places come together for a family reunion. Each one of them had 2 gifts each for every other person. So there are 15 persons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Each person had 2 gifts for every other person. So for every other person, let's say for this person, which is, let's say this is P1, P1 will have 2 gifts. 2 gifts for each person. 2 gifts for each person. So how many persons are there for which he can gift? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there are 14 persons whom he can gift. And for each person, he needs to give two gifts. So person 1 will be carrying 2 gifts for each person, and there are in total 14 persons. 2 gifts for each person, and there are total 14 persons. So person 1 will be carrying 28 gifts. Similarly, what will happen for person 2 if I take this as my second case? So person 2 will again, he will bring 2 gifts for each person, and how many persons are there? He will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So there are 14 persons for which person 2 has to bring the gift. So again for P2, it will be the same case, which is 2 gifts per person and there are 14 persons. So P2 will also give 28 gifts. So similarly for P3, P4, P5 up till P15, everyone will give him 28 gifts. So each person is giving him each person is carrying 28 gifts and there are 15 persons. So total number of gifts will be equal to each person is carrying 28 gifts because he has to give 2 gifts for other person, for every other person. So 28, 14 into 2, 28. So 28 gifts per person. And how many people are there? There are 15 persons. P1, P2, P3, P4 up till P15. There are 15 people. So 28 into 15. This is equal to 420. So this is the total number of gifts. Now, when the gifts were exchanged, they hugged each other. So now when the gifts are getting exchanged, they are hugging each other. Now, if there are 15 people and each people is, let's say, shaking hand with each other, total number of handshakes will be 15C2. Similarly, if there are 15 people and each person is hugging every other person, so the total number of hugs will be, you can write it here, total number of hugs will be 15C2, which is 15 into 14 divided by 2, or I can write 105. So this will be the total number of hugs. So this is the total number of gifts, this is the total number of hugs. What is the difference between the number of hugs and the number of gifts exchanged? So difference will be 420 minus 105. So 420 minus 105, this is 315. So difference between the number of gifts and the number of hugs will be 315, and therefore I can say option A 315 is the correct answer. The next question is saying the points 2, 2, 6, 3 and 4, 11. So these are vertices of one of the triangle. We have to find out which particular triangle it is. So we have triangle like this, which is 2, 2, 6, 3 and 11, 4, 11. Let's say this is A, this is B and this is C. Now, what we can best do here is basically we can find out the length of AB, BC and AC. Now, if all three are equal, it will be equilateral. If all three are different, then it will be scalene. If two of them are equal, it will be isosceles. And if sum of the squares of two is equal to the sum of the third, is equal to the square of the third side, which is the largest side, then it will be a right angle. So AB will be equal to, if I have to find out, this will be equal to AB under root of x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. So this will be 6 minus 2 ka whole square plus 3 minus 2 ka whole square. So 6 minus 2 is 4, 4 square is 16. So under root 16 plus 1, which is equal to under root of 70. Now if I check for BC, BC is 6, 3 and 4, 11. So this will be equal to 6 minus 4 ka whole square plus 11 minus 3 ka whole square. This will be equal to 2 square, which is 4, and 11 minus 3, 8 square, which is 68. So 4 plus 64. So this will be under root 68. So this is root 17 units. This is root 68 units. Now if I find out what is AC, AC is 2, 2 and 4, 11. So this will be equal to 4 minus 2 ka whole square plus 11 minus 2 ka whole square. So 4 minus 2 ka whole square is 4. Sorry, 4 minus 2 is 2 and 2 square is 4. And 11 minus 2 is 9, 9 square is 81. So 4 plus 81, this will be equal to under root of 85 units. Now if we carefully look, this is basically AB square. If we do AB square plus BC square, this will be equal to under root 17 ka whole square plus under root 68 ka whole square, which is 17 plus 68, which is 85. And if I now do AC square, this will be root 85 ka whole square, which is again 85. And both of these values are equal. So what I can conclude is basically AB square plus BC square is equals to AC square. And this is the condition for right angle triangle. This is the condition for right angle triangle. This is the condition for right angle triangle. And therefore AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. And therefore I can say option C, right angle triangle, is the correct answer.